What is up, guys? SDFC bros. Welcome back to another match recap. Crazy ass game. Like I don't. Like at the end of the day, like at the end of the game, I was speechless.
Yeah, I think.
How are you coping?
I mean, not very well. I've been very upset. I've been very angry, I would say.
Angry. Are we
Yeah.
gonna get a mean Carlos today?
I don't think a mean Carlos, just like a more like what the fuck
Are we
Carlos.
gonna get a little pow pow?
No,
You guys
no,
get a
no,
little
no.
pow pow?
No, definitely not. Just like what the fuck.
Okay, I hear it. Okay, well, guys, leave in the comment section below if you went to the game, but also, guys, check
Feel
out.
bad for you if you did.
Yeah, watch party was cool. It was vibes, right, when
Yeah,
we were
no, it was
winning.
fun, but still, just
but-
I know how you felt afterwards. So.
Definitely. I think it was mutual.
Yeah.
But guys, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, check us out in the links in the description below, Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Instagram. My mind is all over the place. I'm already thinking. But guys, check us out. Links in the description. Instagram and TikTok. Make sure you guys check out So Fly for these dope hats. And also check out norte.mx also for these dope hats.
Sombrero.
For a sombrero,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's it.
But let's jump into this, Carlos. Let's rip off the Band-Aid, right? This was another sold-out event, right, at Wicked West. So, yeah, again, big shout-out to everyone who came up and, was just hanging out with us and everything like that.
Yeah.
Really made I think, match day a lot more better, to say the least. But I think the discussion kind of going into this game was the lineup, I think, as always, right? Because we knew that Chucky Lozano was coming in this game, but it was, does he start? Does he go on the bench? But I think we were all thinking that he was going to be on the bench for this one and then coming in later as a sub. But what were your kind of like first moments kind of like in the game and like kind of leading up to this point?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just kind of like you said, like conversation where like, oh, is Shuki gonna come on? We knew he was gonna come on the bench, but like, how is it gonna integrate? How is Portland going to act based on the fact that they've played us so many times? Is we're gonna see a different Portland? I mean, in the first, I would say 5 minutes, we saw
Yeah.
a different Portland. One that was attacking a lot more. I feel like San Diego kind of showed up to the game a little late. I don't know what it was. Maybe just more confidence. Maybe we've played this team so many times and hadn't seen this side, so we weren't expecting that through and through. But ultimately, Portland shows up really, really strong, and you start seeing San Diego kind of having to trying to like get back into the game that really they should have not been out of at the first hand. But I understand like Portland was coming out strong, and not only was Portland coming out strong, they were coming out very aggressive and towards the players, and they were really showing like this is our home. You know what I'm saying? You can't just come here thinking you're gonna walk over it for a third time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It definitely felt like they were the aggressors in this game, just based off of all the fouls that they were producing and everything like that. And I think for me, kind of the lead up when this game was on, I want to see San Diego kind of have like a more conservative approach, right? I know like away from home, we're really pragmatic and we're really, front. Like it's like a front wheel drive kind of like we're very offensive when we play away from home, and at least in this one it's like to your point how you were saying like Portland's not going to just let us run over for a third time. I kind of was expecting San Diego FC to kind of have a little bit more of a conservative approach, maybe play off of the counterattack a little bit more, but Portland really surprised me in the opening first half. And I mean, look, they got a goal right from they got a goal really early on, but I wanted to, or did the Dos Santos situation happen before or after the goal?
I think it happened after the goal.
After the goal,
Yeah,
I
it
think you're
definitely
right.
happened after the
I
goal.
think you're right. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, the first goal, I think San Diego FC, again, it was between McVay and Ian Pilcher, kind of like that. Miscommunication or something happened, but it's like for me, it's like I feel like just no one was really on it. Like we weren't really like predicting what was gonna happen and like everything like that. So
No, I agree with you, but I think where it really messed up and things got jumbled is McVay has a ball dropping down to him and he just misses it completely when he should have put a foot in it and probably redirected it to a corner kick or something like that. But it just then it just gets lost, and you see a Portland who's very anxious who has nothing to lose essentially. So they're just looking to shoot, and it happens. You know what I'm saying? But I think we definitely step it up after that.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, it's like I feel like that first goal, that's what Portland tried to do over and over and over again. Those constant over-the-top through balls to really beat our back line. And it worked a good couple of times, I'm not going to lie. So I'm hoping, right, in this game 3, we do our homework. Maybe, do you think we combat that with kind of a lower block, or do you think we just kind of stay the way that we've been going?
You know, I think these are one of the games where I don't think it, like, yes, we're going to be able to sit here and, like, say, like, oh, we should prepare, and there's definitely a way to prepare. But I think regardless of what happens, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Do we place conservative to going to penalties? Yeah. No. But I mean, like, as a fan, I don't want that.
Right.
Or do we go all out attack and say we have nothing to lose either? We're going for broke and just pepper them with shots.
Sure.
It's a unique situation. It's one where you either risk it and risk losing, or you play it safe and who knows what comes out of it. But regardless, one of them is going to have an outcome, and it could potentially be an outcome of us losing it, and that's where I think my frustration will come in during the rest of the video.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like that was kind of like the talk of, I think, like the whole game was, it's like in that definite opening, let's call it 18 minutes, when Portland got their first goal, SD just really did not look like invested in it. And maybe that's because it was an away game, right? In Portland, we're really playing that aggressive style. But I mean, I was really kind of expecting a little bit more in kind of the opening moments of the game. But regardless, right, I think the event that happened after, right, which was the CJ Dos Santos injury, which that was really scary to kind of see, because at first, like, I didn't really know what was happening.
Right.
And then, like, you just see him, like, just laying on the floor like that. And reports were coming out that he did fracture his cheekbone.
Yeah,
so we're probably going to see another masked CJ Dos Santos. But, I mean,
I don't even think we're seeing him at all.
I think he's done for the rest of the season, to be completely honest. But fractured cheekbone, he's out for 4 to 8 weeks. So I think that definitely rules him out for the rest of this season. But what were your kind of thoughts, like, after that, and then Cisniega coming in?
Well, I think it's just unfortunate. Like, I think there's no way of avoiding that situation. I think you could say, like, oh, maybe Dos Santos doesn't need to do that, but, you know, he's a goalie at the end of the day.
He's an aggressive goalkeeper as well.
But again, I think Portland was playing a little, like, I know, like, you can't get a red card from that. Like, it was an accidental thing, but at the same time, like, Portland was just playing very aggressive there, and that was kind of like again, I'm not going to talk crap because, I mean, maybe he's put in the same situation or whatever, but, like, that Portland player was playing just with 100% no, like, safety around
it. Do you think he was actually making an effort to go for the ball?
No, I do. But I mean, I think sometimes, give or take, and I get it, you're put in a situation where you need to score, you know what I'm saying? But I think you've been in a position where there's a goalie right in front of you. Like, you don't, I don't know, you kind of second guess yourself sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You're a little softer on the kick or anything like that. This was not anything like that. You know, he was playing, I would say, maybe a little, like, I would say reckless, just very ambitious to score the goal. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so it's an accidental mistake. And maybe if he didn't play as ambitiously, then it wouldn't have happened that way. But it's sad. You know, CJ Dos Santos has carried us a lot through this season, and he deserves a chance to be able to be up there and celebrate with us. And he's a pivotal player for us and communicating with that back line as well. So, I mean, I have my full faith in Cisniega as well, but I think it's just a really sad situation that maybe, I don't know, could have.
I don't know. There was a lot of Portland fans saying that they could have gotten a red card for that. Like, Portland fans themselves were saying, I think we kind of got away with that one a little bit.
No, I think it's soccer at the end of the day. For me personally, I think it's just soccer out of the way. Again, and you're talking about somebody who's putting their face in front of somebody's foot. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, no matter how angry I might be or not, like, it's just like, it's a terrible thing. Yes, you can get it, but you're as a goalkeeper, you're running that risk. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, maybe there should have been more precaution on that player to play a little bit safer in that situation. But you're talking about a player who's trying to score to get his team to the playoffs.
Sure.
In a high intense game.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was just like one of those where, like, I do think that they were kind of playing a little bit more aggressive, but it's like, look, I'd want SDFC to kind of play like that and have that same intensity, especially in the situation that Portland is in as well, right? Because that was a do or die game, right? That was literally a win or go home at that point. So it's like, I hear it at the end of the day.
He's kicking that ball. He's kicking his face as hard as he would kick a soccer ball. I mean, I think the moment you saw CJ, like, just down like that, you knew it was. He's already had a concussion as well, but this, like, that definitely fractured his
Yeah, I mean, he fractured his cheekbone, so it's I think it was like on the right side, and there was like pictures like kind of going out where it's like you see like he like got up, but it's like you just see like his face starting to swell.
Yeah. So
that's what happened when I broke my jaw.
no, yeah, I mean he's he's probably going to be on the same protocol as you too, mouth wired shut. You know.
Ugh. Hey,
I don't know.
luck, man.
Just can't move. It's just unfortunate, and it's gonna be hard for him. And I think we talked about it too. Is like how does San Diego respond to a situation like this? Because I think it becomes harder to come out and be like, oh, let's start playing a game. Like you just saw somebody you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're losing, and then you see somebody you've been in the locker room consistently with, a pivotal, I would say, team member.
Certainly.
Really hurt. How do you change your mindset into let's go and win a soccer game?
Right. Yeah, definitely. And Dos Santos, he came off. Let me see. Dos Santos came off at the 29th minute.
Right.
So that's fairly early in the really early in the game actually, and I mean especially for like a goalkeeper to get stuff like that is something that you don't really see. But yeah, and the whole kind of rest of the half, I think that's when you saw San Diego FC kind of like grow into the game because then we started, creating chances and we started really being threatening in front of goal. And your boy, Amal Pellegrino, bails us out once again. What do you have to say to people that really weren't on his side, and what do you think he kind of brings differently to SDFC?
Well, look, I think he's not the striker that San Diego FC had been sitting here wanting, you know what I'm saying? Or the one that we needed. I think he's just a really good replacement, and I think what brings him is just his knowledge and where his positioning is a lot of the time. And also, he came in very late, and so I think what helps with that, because we see a shot from him that we haven't seen from a lot of these players. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just that Mikey Varas mentality. But he's a seasoned veteran. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna. He knows when not to listen to that and knows when to make up. And you see a goal. And there's a lot of situations where these other players would maybe take a pass there, get that safety net. But I would like what Pellegrino brings in is just like, one, I think is just his passion and his you can see it, like his passion to, I don't know if he's going to be the same next season. You know what I'm saying? But he is what he is right now. And I think he's a nice, like a tape on the wall. You know what I'm saying? But I think like he's given a second chance and he's really stepping up into itself. He saw that, this club doesn't have a striker. This club doesn't have anybody. Let me present myself as that. And he has, and he's shown for it. You know what I'm saying? And I think the way we play works well with him, and he puts himself in very good positions and he isn't somebody who's going to take that or going to listen to that Mikey Varas mentality fully. He's going to adopt it for sure, but not listen to it all the way to score a goal like that or be comfortable scoring a goal. And again, I also think he's a very comfortable player in front of goal. There's been a lot of times where he's one-on-one on the keeper, and it's just like, it's a pretty simple thing for him, where I feel like a lot of our players, Chucky being one of them, or Dreyer in some certain stances, have been on that one-on-one and still can't slot it in,
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree with that. And I mean, for me, like, I think what I see a little bit differently in Pellegrino compared to other players, it's like he's your traditional 9.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? How you were saying it's like instead of, opting out for a pass that a lot of these other players would, he has that confidence to take a shot on goal. And I mean, this was a brilliant goal as well. Went into the top right corner and it just flew. And I think it's just one of those where it's like, I think it's really important to kind of understand that it's like this is someone who is going to be crucial in the buildup of playoffs, right? When we're constantly, hopefully going through. And I think that we will, but we'll get to that later. But for me, it's like I think it's important to kind of have traits like this of a player, of a number 9, of a traditional number 9, and not like a Valakari who's up top, who's definitely like it's like in pro clubs when you're a midfielder and then you just put your build at striker. You're not gonna have the same stats or kind of numbers as the number 9 would. And it's like, for me, it's like I think this is just a clear indication. And I mean, Pellegrino's been on fire the last couple of games, right? Really adopting number 9's philosophy in this San Diego FC team. And for me, it's like I think it's just such a clear like indication that it's like this is kind of like the type of player we need to get in the next transfer window.
And it's funny you say that, because I think maybe Mikey Varas and maybe Tyler Heaps thought that to fix this role, you need like a Valakari or an Varts in number 9.
Sure.
But what we've seen now, realistically, is Milan Iloski and Pellegrino, who are more traditional 9s, excelling in this thriving, and it might have to be something that they have to pick up and sit there and say, we might have thought that having a deeper striker was going to fit in this, but what really is fitting in this is a mobile traditional 9 striker, and something I think, like you said, is going to have to be adopted into the next season.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I do want to give my flowers to Corey Byard here.
Of course.
Because I feel like in the game we were kind of critical a little bit because we were like, he's not really injecting himself in the game. He's not really involved with a Pellegrino or a Dreyer. But man, that first goal, right? Yeah, that first goal that we scored, Dreyer put a nice little ball in for Byard, and then Byard a nice little threaded pass to Pellegrino, who took 2 touches minimum and then had to go. So I do want to give my flowers to Corey Byard, even though he is, I think, one of those players that, we don't really know a lot about still, right? We're still trying to kind of understand where he fits best. But I think in this moment, I think he was really crucial in the build-up.
No, and like I said, I will never hate on a player who's giving his 100%. And honestly, out of a lot of those players, maybe we can talk about his touches or anything like that maybe some things need to be worked on. But I think out of a lot of the players in this first half, Byard was running up and down, left and right, and just trying to insert himself in whichever way possible. And that's something that is commendable in any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And I mean, shortly after that, right, there was 12 minutes of added time, right, because of the Dos Santos thing and everything like that. But I think referee, kind of pushed it a little bit more after we got that goal. But then shortly after, we got another goal, right? It is chopped off for offside. But I think at that point, a lot of us in that watch party, we were really thinking, okay, like we're really on it right now and we're really dialed in. And when you have a dialed in San Diego FC, very, very tough to beat, very tough to get the ball. And that was something really encouraging going into the second half, which we'll go into the second half right now, was when we saw the introduction of a Chucky Lozano.
Yeah.
This was one of Chucky's, right? I say like LAFC, that was probably his best game away from home. This one was definitely up there. In his very short cameo, he only played 1/2 of football in this game. But for me, he was really influential in the build-up play and kind of just being a presence up top and really being a threat towards Portland's goal. What was your thoughts about Chucky's introduction in this game?
I think it was one where you saw why we needed a Chucky and how the game probably wasn't going to continue very well if we didn't inject Chucky. There's very rare instances where I say like, oh, Chucky would fit perfectly. This is a game where I think him coming as a sub was completely needed. Going into next game, like I know he's going to start probably, but I really liked an injected second half. Well. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that it's too long for him right now to play a whole thing with everything that's gone through or whatever. But him coming in felt motivated. It changed the game. Portland was shocked as well. Wasn't ready for that. Having Pellegrino, and again, like I think it was just a perfect game. I don't know how we're going to go into next, but like you could feel it. Like Chucky was going to make such a difference in that completely. And he does immediately. He comes in and scores that goal, which is amazing. It was good to, and it was also very good to see how the fans are very excited to see him in. But like you said, like I think we've talked about this 100% of the time. A motivated Chucky is a Chucky who will succeed in this club.
Certainly.
A non-motivated Chucky, which we have seen time and time again, is somebody who is very lackluster with us.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree. When you see a Chucky who's definitely motivated to kind of play and really like play with the rest of the team, right? And I feel like we've always made that kind of analogy where it's like when you see a Chucky share the ball and he's, really involved in build up and really doing that sort of thing rather than just, taking the ball and try to, dribble through 5 guys. This is where you're going to see Chucky thrive the most. And I mean, look, what more of an indication do you need when he comes in at the 45th minute and he scores at the 51?
Right. And no, and I think like we said, like even him, he played right wing.
No, he was on the left, and then Pellegrino shifted to the middle, and then Dreyer was on the right.
Are you sure? I think in the first. Okay.
They were switching a lot. Yeah, they were switching a bit. Right.
Chucky was switching and moving a lot more, and he wasn't getting the ball as he normally was, where he was taking it and making those runs by himself. He was looking for that pass, and again, we said it here best. Chucky, we said it, you're going to get your goals if you play with the team.
Right.
The moment you start playing for yourself is when you get lost. And we see this so clearly in this game because you talk about the LA Galaxy game, you know what I'm saying, or the LAFC game, right, where he's like injecting himself, but I still think he played a little selfishly. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Regardless, this is the one game where I see him part of the team and you see him score a goal, and that's the reason we score a goal. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason he scores a goal. That's the reason we're going up, is because Chucky has the ability to, he has the ability, but he needs to play.
He has the ability to really be a threat in these games. And
he just needs to play with the team.
100%, yeah. And it's like, once you start to see that on a consistent level from Chucky, then I think you're going to see his level increase.
And become a star.
Become a star as well, because it's like, you do see Dreyer, right, in that role exactly, where he's playing off of teammates, and that's why he has so many assists as well.
Right.
I think that's something that is, I think, really underrated from Dreyer's game, is the amount of assists that he has. And even though, goals are, something that's really, it definitely, gives you the headlines and everything like that, but assists is something that I think is a really underrated stat.
No, I agree, and I think maybe, I hope whatever happened here kind of brought Chucky back, and
he kissed the badge as well.
Right, he did. I don't know if that's
does that hold any weight to you at all?
I think it is genuine, but at the same time, I sit and I'm like, he's only been here not long enough. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you think it was like an apology?
I think it was like an apology more than like I love this club or anything like that. I don't know what happened, but regardless, I think it makes a statement like, I'm here to stay and I want to stay with this club, and it's important to me to be part of this journey. I think that's what it says. It reads all out, and I think it was a genuine touch to add that kiss. I can accept the apology from there. As long as he continues to play to this level, I'm excited to see that, and I think he's going to be a unique addition to our team, and I feel like we have a brand new Chucky, a brand new player if he sticks to this role.
He's like reborn.
Yeah,
almost.
And I hope he stays this way because, I hope whatever happened in Mikey Vada's talk, like he learns that, and I hope he saw that in himself as well too.
Yeah, certainly, I 100% agree with all those points. But to something that you've kind of said like all season, where it's like with that kind of Chucky conversation, Negri replaced Bambino, which I think Bambino kind of had a little knock from that Dos Santos collision as well. And I think he was like, okay, like I'm good to play the next half, but then he shortly came off. Negri came in, and literally right off the rip, 1 minute later, Chucky does get the goal. You always say that Negri kind of is the guy that gets the best out of Chucky. Why do you think that is?
I just think that Negri and Chucky have a little, I don't want to say like better connection, but I think Luca Bambino is a little safe on the ball. You know what I'm saying? Where Negri has had so much experience, he kind of knows where to put that ball to his left winger. You know what I'm saying? He kind of just knows. Luca Bambino still is kind of young and 19, so I think he plays just a little bit safer. I think also Negri's a lot faster on the left wing, which allows Chucky to be confident to make a cut inside. Mm-hmm. Where I feel like sometimes with Luca Bambino, Chucky has to hold that left wing a lot longer to wait for that ball from Luca Bambino. So I think Negri and Chucky kind of have a more understanding on that left side than maybe Bambino does right now at this moment,
Yeah, I think just the only thing, I think Negri is a lot more of an offensive fullback by trade, and Bambino is definitely a lot more defensive.
Exactly.
And I think that's where you see a lot of Bambino's qualities come out, is on the defensive end.
Right, and he's a great player, you know what I'm saying? But I think him being 19, he's not like a Trent, what is it, Trent Alex?
Yeah. I'll say this, and this is going to be a crazy shout, but there's an Italian center back by the name of Fabio Cannavaro who reminds me a lot of Luca Bambino, because Cannavaro started out as a full back and he moved to the center back. And even though Cannavaro really wasn't that tall either, he had that presence in the box and he had a lot of leadership qualities. And I see a lot of that in Luca Bambino.
I could definitely see Luca Bambino's role switching and changing as he progresses as well too. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I think one thing that I really wanted to talk about as well was Portland's number 99.
Oh, of course.
Velde. What were your thoughts kind of him like in this game? Because at least for me, it's like this guy was just a nuisance trying to get in anybody's head at this point in the game. It's like, for me, it's like to have a guy like that, like kind of like a Diego Costa or like a Pepe, to kind of, just inject that little bit of like shithousery in the game, I think is really, I hate to say it, but important to kind of have.
I agree. I agree. It's important to soccer. I think it's also another reason that we probably got stuck out here, you know what I'm saying? Props to Portland for having a player like that. You want somebody who's ready to die for that badge, and take the shithousery and do that.
There
And it's
there
proud
was
to
a
do
lot
that.
of shouts of like a lot of people saying that maybe he could have gotten sent off because he was fouling a lot. I mean,
Right.
Portland had 21 fouls and they had the same amount of yellow cards as us.
Hey, I mean, it's soccer. That's what it is. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I hate him, but that's part of it. It's like I'm somebody who's like loves the game of soccer, just not only because of like the tactics and everything,
Sure.
but the emotion that it brings out. And just because hate and upsetness is an emotion doesn't mean that it's not beautiful in some sense. You know what I'm saying? The fact that something like that could pull out hate out of me is interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To see, and I really enjoyed that, and I'm sure STFC enjoyed it. And now we have another reason to be more willing to win or to
win.
win on Sunday, and also just like another. That's where rivalries start. You know what I'm saying? Like we're always gonna have a chip on our badge when Portland comes.
Yeah. As long as he's there.
Right. No, of course.
As long as he's there. And I think San Diego definitely will not forget his name.
Well, I also think that they're on the West Coast too as well.
Yeah, they're in Oregon.
Yeah, I know they're right above California is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We kind of have that like.
Oh, you're saying like a regional rivalry.
Yeah, we kind of do.
Thing.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I guess, but
I feel like Portland thinks they're better than San Diego for sure.
Well, I mean,
like in Starbucks,
results don't lie. Results don't lie.
Who's more democratic?
But also another thing that I did want to touch upon this game. The amount of quality subs that came into this game, which I thought was really going to help us out in the long run, but I don't really think it shifted the needle, to be completely honest, right? We saw De La Torre come in for a Godoy, which I thought Godoy played okay. I don't think he did like anything crazy. And then we saw Marcus Ingvartsen come in as well. And honestly, and we saw Patty McNair come in as well, too. So it's like, for me, it's like, with the amount of like quality subs we had come in, I really thought that maybe that was going to really, send us over the edge to, get maybe a third to really, call this game to bed. But I think Portland really made a big effort to really stay in this game. And I mean, look, I tip my hat to them because they did definitely stay in this game. But it was, I think, after we got like that second goal, we took our foot off the gas a little bit, in my opinion. Yeah, we had like some threatening opportunities here and there, but nothing to the point where it's like, I was like, okay, I think we can get a third here. I think that momentum died out right after that Chucky goal went in, because right end of the first half, right, Pellegrino gets it, and, we're still, going super hard. And then I think we got that Chucky goal and we were content with that.
Right.
And I think, what we saw in game one, right, where we were up that 2-0, I think, and we played a little conservative.
Right.
And I think when you do take your foot off the gas a little bit and have like that play style, it kind of gives a little bit of complacency. And that's what I don't like about playing a little bit conservative. You still need to, be locked in and dialed in. Otherwise, you let the team get back into the game.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that's exactly what happened. I said it at the watch party. I said, 2-1 right now, but I don't feel confident with it. And realistically, like I'm really sorry, but we had nothing to lose at that time. Like I would have been more comfortable that we're attacking those goals, and maybe Portland gets another goal, but as long as we, or a counterattack or anything like that, but we still step back. Like we should have not taken our foot off the gas until we got that third goal, and we're very confident in that third goal, because even if they're able to score another one, then we're still attacking and we're still on that chase. We're still in those penalties. You know what I'm saying? But we don't we didn't think that way. It was like, we're just gonna take this and we're gonna hold on to it. To be fair, San Diego did hold on to it. I will say this: they did to the last minute. So it was in. We can talk. This is in hindsight. You know what I'm saying? It did work. You know what I'm saying? It did work. But for a game like this, you have nothing to risk. You have nothing to risk. The biggest risk is that you push us to third game. Go for those goals. At least get it done. And I think, to your point, we're doing that. Pellegrino comes in off a little too late for me. Pellegrino was getting a little slower, and we needed to inject more at that certain amount.
Pellegrino comes off at the 70th.
Right, and so I think that just goes to show how long we're willing to keep somebody who's, you know what I'm saying? Like, we needed to inject, even an Alex Maitin would have just, you know what I'm saying?
I think a Maitin would have been brilliant.
Right, would have shifted completely, and we needed that to score those. The game should have been, we are going to score and we're going to win. And I think something that you've seen in these playoffs is a lot of these teams who are more than likely were chances to win have gone and they've won big.
Columbus won against Cincinnati 4-0, LAFC 4-1, Vancouver won in penalties.
Yeah, but Dallas was giving them a hard time in the beginning. I will say that. They almost, what's it called?
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you see all the other ones, they came in and they dominated the whole game.
Yeah, Philly 3-0.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They didn't take their foot off the gas, and that's what the issue was. San Diego could have beat Portland, but we took our foot off the gas and assumed Portland was going to do the same. And it's like we had it. At that second goal, we had it. Portland was done. We just needed one more, and you cap it.
Yeah.
But you gave Portland hope.
Yeah, I think, again, it's like I think that Pellegrino sub, right, with Vartan, I think it just kind of, we resulted back into kind of, let's play with our back to goal and, like, you know, stuff like that. And again, I think you make a really good point. Mighton would have been a brilliant sub in this game, because at least it's like if you hoof the ball up all the way, Mighton is going to get there. He's quick, he's fast. You know,
which should have been the whole...
It could have been.
At the 70th minute, all you got to do, Cisniega, all he had to do was hoof it and go. Hoof it and go. Play that last, what's it called? Attack. But we played it safe.
Yeah, and I think going into Portland's last goal, right, number one, there should not have been 8 minutes added on in this game.
That's
is
playoff tax, whatever. Yeah,
nuts. By the way, but regardless of the fact is, I don't even think this goal should even went in. To be completely honest, it's like at that point in the game, it's like you really have to be dialed in. But it's like I think you saw a lot of times. There was a point in the vlog where Portland had the exact same opportunity that they had prior to this goal, and it missed like barely.
Right.
And like me and you, we both like look at the camera real quick, but it's like, again, they had the exact same opportunity and they bagged their chance. A goal at the back post, Cisniega nowhere near it. And it's like, I think you're asking questions about like, why is this person able? Number one, this Donnie came in at the 86th minute and he scored a goal. So he makes an impact right away. Number one. Number two, you're asking some questions about why is this player wide open? Why is he having that opportunity to get a chance like that on goal?
You know, for me, I think, like, yes, that's a big question, you know, like, why? But I think at the end of the day, stuff like that happens and stuff like that, those are just uncoachable moments.
Is that just football?
That's just football. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I sit there and say, like, I don't take it away from Portland. We should have won that game before that moment.
Right,
and if it is going to happen, it's going to happen because it's football.
Right.
And that's it. I mean, talk about a guy who comes on the 86th minute, scores a goal like that to put it seem like that's just soccer, man. That's it's just written in the stars, you know, at a certain point. San Diego should have, you allow that to happen. And I think that's what I love about football so much is, like, no matter how many plays, no matter how many some things, if you as a team allow that to happen or don't bag your goals early, your miracles happen all the time in football. And it's just like, you were just asking for that. You were just, I mean, you could even hear in the atmosphere. I mean, producer Jazz was saying, like, if this happens, like, and it's just like, you know, that's a thing. Like, that's the thing of soccer is, like, it just happens. Right. And if you allow that miracle, that little glimpse of the football gods to get a glimpse of that, they're going to punish you 100% of the time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see it all the time, and not even just like MLS soccer, in European football as well, right? I mean, remontada, right?
Exactly.
That's the most iconic game of all time in football.
I mean, Man United, Old Trafford, you know what I'm saying?
Fergie time.
For Fergie time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that's always existed. You know?
Yeah, definitely. So it's like, again, you make a good point. If you allow your opponent to kind of creep into the game, they're going to punish you. And I mean, again, you said it, you and Don Carlos, you and your dad, you were saying that a lot of the times playoffs is unforgiving. And I think this is a very unforgiving moment, because it's like you kind of allow your opponent literally to do this. Like, there's literally no other way to kind of explain it in that sort of way. But
that's the thing. You give them that belief, and in playoffs, or any team fighting for something is going to fight for the heart.
Well, I think you saw it's like the pendulum was definitely swinging towards Portland's way, and it's like there was just so many times where, countless times, like I was like literally like I was like biting.
But we allowed them. We allowed them, and that's the thing.
And that's my whole point. Where it's like, where is like the tactical adjustment to really like read the game into the point where it's like you have to nullify these opportunities, right? They're crossing balls in left and right. Occupy the wide spaces. Let them play through the middle at that point. Because all their goals, they weren't playing through the middle. It was always either an opportunity for them to cross the ball, or it was a ball over the top. So it's like either you force them to kind of play back to make those balls over the top, or you occupy the wide spaces. And I don't like, I always give Mikey Varas his kudos, and I always, tip a hat and everything like that. I think the subs in this game, they were wrong.
No, I agree.
Other than the Chucky sub, right? But that was always going to happen.
And there's nothing else to blame, but it's just it's a lesson learned that playoffs are a different monster, I think.
I agree.
And okay, that's my take right here. I forgive San Diego. It's a put it behind me that Portland scores in this, what's it called? In this last half. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? It's our first playoffs. We're learning that. It's forgivable. The way it happens, I'm not mad at that. I'm not pissed at that. What I'm pissed at is what happens next, right. which is not forgivable and will never be. And this is the difference between why I can understand this second game loss and why I can't.
Right. So, yeah, let's get into that. Penalties, right? This was SDFC's
and
first.
I fucked up my back from being so angry.
So, yeah, penalties. This was San Diego FC's very first penalty shootout. So, you know, we've only seen 2 of these players take penalties, Chucky and Dreyer. Yeah. And I think there was a lot of, before the penalty shootout, I was like, oh, like I'm a bit nervy. And you're like, well, the truth of the matter is, it's like we really don't know what to expect with these penalties.
Right.
We've only
we
seen
don't
2
even
guys.
know who our formation is. You know
exactly. We don't. Yeah, the lineup of the penalties. So right, obviously we start off really good. Right, Dreyer, Chucky bag theirs. Right, and Mora, I guess he scores his penalty for Portland. And Cisniega, man, this guy did all he could. Like he did all he could in this penalty shootout, and it's like you ask your goalkeeper to just save maybe one.
Right, and you're golden.
And yeah, and you're like, if your goalkeeper probably saves one penalty, your chances of winning
just
the shootout
tremendously
just skyrocket up. And the fact that he saved 2,
right? And nuts. I think that's where the emotion comes in, because if you see we'll see on the vlog, but when he saves that first one, it was almost like it was a goal. No, it literally was celebrating a goal because you know mentally
how huge that is,
how important that is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
not to do it a second time. I think
the second save was like a lot more like holy shit, because it's like we got bailed out the first time.
Now we got yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I think
we've got bailed out from the first miss.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like I felt like at that point, right after that, like these players really had to really understand and read the situation. Don't go for power. Don't go for like any of this nonsense, right? Just go for placement. Just put it on target. And the fact that we missed 3 in a row, but not like the goalkeeper didn't save it, right? Didn't, it wasn't even on target.
Right.
They completely skied it into row Z. They skied it all the way into the last row. And it's like, for me, right, I know maybe the nerves and kind of the atmosphere kind of like played a very big role into it. And I definitely think that it does. I don't think, obviously taking penalties on the training pitch versus, cold, rainy day in Portland, right? Where the, man, my mind is just going everywhere right now. But I think the moment of the situation, I think definitely got into a lot of these players' heads, and you saw it best.
I think yes, that the moment got into the player's head. But I also think, no, at the same time. Sure. I think a lot of those misses were just so unorganized, so just not thought through, just a player not in the right headspace. I don't know what it was, but like you said, Velikari takes it so fast.
Yeah.
Not even like a what's it called, and just skies it, and it's just like, what is going on? And then you have the only player that I think had the most amount of pressure on him was Yepe. He's captain. He's the last one up. Like, that's the only one where I can give. Ivartsen hasn't gone to one fucking game, has not been in any of these positions. I'm sorry, it just pisses me off.
Why is he taking the pen?
I don't know why he's taking the pen. And if he is taking the pen, what the fuck, Ivartsen? You know what I'm saying? You haven't done anything.
Man.
It's just not.
I maybe would have gave it to, hell, I would have given it to a Manu.
Negri.
A Negri maybe, right? I think you're maybe a Della Torre probably. But for me, it's I think... Yeah, very, very, very questionable. But, I mean, look, again, it is our first penalty shootout, but it's again, it's really hard to kind of forgive
No,
this.
I get that. You learn from this mistakes, whatever. It's just hard to forgive. I think Mikey Varas should have just spent maybe even an extra hour thinking of this moment. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think... I believe that they practice, and I get your point where it's you don't have to practice for these moments, but I think you just needed to be prepared. Right. And you can see the lack of preparedness. Yeah. And there wasn't that, they did not show up. And this is where I will go back. It is an issue when it's 3 of your players.
Yeah.
If it was 1, hand it to you. It's three of your players.
Right. I mean, it
and
reminds me.
back to back.
Right. It reminds me of literally. I know this really closely. Italy in the Euros final penalty shootout. England missed 3 in a row. Donnarumma saved 2, 1 hit the post, and we win the whole thing. So it's like just how England literally fumbled their chance, so did SDFC. Right. And it's because you're not really in the right mind space at those moments to really, take it at that point.
I agree.
I think the only thing is, it's like this is a really tough pill to swallow, but we got to put it behind us because, like, at this point, if we're dwelling on this, and it's like there was another Italy thing. Italy was a cursed team in the penalty shootouts. Every single World Cup final we went in a penalty shootout, we lost, right? Baggio missed in 94 and everything like that. In I think a couple in the 80s. We go in 02 and 06. We win off of penalties. I think SDFC, if they make penalty shootouts like they're like ghost, I guess, it's not going to be good because then it's like once you go into every penalty shootout thinking, oh my God, like what if I miss? What happens if we replicate what happened in Portland? It's not going to be good. So it's like for me, tough pill to swallow. You got to put it behind you. And I think the only thing that we can do right now going forward, look forward to game 3.
Right.
What are your kind of thoughts going into game 3?
Yeah, I'm not here nor there. I think Portland has a chance to take it. I think San Diego has proven at home that and in big opportunities at home games that they can be taken over. And I can assure you, I don't know if San Diego is like I'm gonna root for San Diego no matter what, but I really feel like San Diego is going to succumb to the pressure, and they added an immense amount of pressure to themselves that I don't think they're ready, and they allowed Portland to believe that they can do something that everybody has told them they can't do.
Yeah.
And that is going to kill us a lot. And if we go in there with the confidence that we had in the first 2 games, we are out. We are done. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what is going to kill us. I think that is what's going to kill us, and I think that is what's going to hurt us. And the pressure in front of these fans, the pressure that I think San Diego's going to have more pressure at home to perform and deliver than they're going to have than they had against away in Portland. And I think the pressure is going to succumb us. And it is my scaredness is that you've just given Portland the golden ticket that they did not believe that they had.
They have a lifeline now.
No, they have more than a lifeline, and they have every right to believe that they can beat us at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
They showed it. And again, you're going to have your playoff tax. You're going to have number 99 in our heads all day, and we are going to get upset. I'm so sorry, but number 99 knows how to get in our head, and we were not going to take it from him. We were not going to take it from him for the first 2 games because we knew we were better. Now, you put 1 goal in front of Portland first and 99
it's
in
the It's going to be a long day. If Portland get 1, especially if they get the first goal, it's going to be a long day. Here's where I'm going to push back.
Yeah.
Here's where I'm going to push back. I think for me, I think what's interesting about SDFC now compared to early in the season is the fans. Because I think for me, I feel like with the thunderclap, I feel like with kind of how like the whole city is behind the team now, I feel like that's just an extra like bit, like that's going to be an extra spark for these guys. Yeah. And I think for me, it's like before in previous games, right? Even versus LAFC first time around, right? When we beat them, what was it, like 3-2 or something like that, 4-3 or whatever it was. Versus LA Galaxy, again in San Diego as well, right? Last minute winner, everything like that. Yeah, you had like a lot of San Diego like invested in everything like that, but I think it was more so of like the spectacle of like big games, right? Versus LA and this and that. Now I think you actually have like the city like invested in the team, not necessarily like the spectacle of the match. And I think for me, I think that's going to be the biggest difference maker because you saw how effective the fans and the whole atmosphere was in that game 1, right? Portland had no answers to any of our things. Portland looked like a lost puppy out there. And it's like, for me, the players fed off of that energy that the whole stadium was giving off. And I think for me, that's going to be kind of the wake-up call for them to kind of get that kick in the ass to get something in this game. And I do believe we will get through to the next round.
I think it puts more pressure. I'm on the whole other end of that. I think it puts too much pressure on them. It's their first season, and they've done so much, and they've brought out this, what's it called? I think the pressure is immense, one that was not needed. I don't even think if we beat Portland and we went to November 22nd, it wouldn't even be the pressure that we're going to have right now. The pressure that we're going to have right now is immense.
Yeah.
It's immense. It's a lot, and I think us being there is going to be more. That's my take on it. And the only solution that I see San Diego winning this is if they, from the minute 1 to the 90th minute, they attack that fucking goal. Like, and if there's one moment where one person drops down, at any moment we lose.
Yeah. No,
that's my solution. Is 100%.
I don't disagree with that. I definitely think like if Portland get one, especially one very early, it's gonna be a long day for us. That's I think point blank. But for me, it's like I definitely think that Portland, very one-dimensional team. Like I said, the only chances they really were able to create was balls over the top and balls coming in from crosses out wide. And for me, if you nullify those chances, it's going to be a long day for them because San Diego FC, we like to play in the middle of the park. We like to keep possession. We like to play that, 1-2 football. So for me, if we play to our strengths and we nullify Portland's weaknesses, which I'm more than confident that we can do because of this coaching staff, they do their homework and they prepare the team in the right way for us to succeed in moments like this. And I think it's interesting to say that it's like, oh, maybe SDFC hasn't really experienced, top pressure situation. But for me, I feel like a top pressure situation was versus LA Galaxy, right, at home when we won in like the last minute.
Yeah, but it's not
for
the
me
same
because
pressure.
because LA Galaxy, they were still winless and everything like that, and they were bottom of the table.
Still not the same pressure.
I disagree.
You're talking about like this is where we're like you're talking about like losing to LA Galaxy, which yes, there's pressure there versus, and you can put on the comments too because this is an insane comment from him, to losing a playoff game in your first season to a team you should have not lost to. That's more pressure. That's way more pressure.
No, I hear it, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I think there is a lot of pressure in there, but to say that this San Diego FC team hasn't like gone under pressure, where it's like
not this pressure
when we've lost 3 games in a row, what, you don't think like these players going into that 4th game trying to get a win, they were like, oh, what happens if we lose 4 games in a row? There's pressure in that game as well to get a result.
No.
So for me to kind of say that this team hasn't really succumbed under pressure isn't really fair. But I hear what you're saying in the grand scheme of things, where you're saying the spectacle of playoffs, right? Where it's literally this game is you win or go home. That's it. Right, you win or go home, and it's like for me.
But it's not just you win.
I think we've played a better game versus Portland in the last 3 games that we've played them. This was a lucky win for Portland. Let's not beat around the bush here. Like I think they got very lucky.
But who's to say they can't get lucky again? And San Diego,
it's like that's my whole point. So I don't think that San Diego FC is gonna let them just like walk over this game like how you think that they might.
Of course not. I don't think that they won't let us walk through. But we see San Diego when they're not playing to their best, and Portland has won. Like we've played them 4 times. One they've tied with us. We've beat them twice, and they beat us 1 time. Regardless.
No, technically we tied the game. They beat us in penalties, but
regardless. Okay, regardless. So it doesn't. They still beat us. Like, and whatever. Like this is not about that. Like this is also Yeppe, Vartan, and Verskov, who are essentially also going to feel like if we lose this game, it's all on us. Like this is this is okay, but what I'm saying is this pressure situation is way more and way more intense than anything that they've had to face, and I think that is going to put them and put anybody in a pressure situation they can lose. And we've seen San Diego in pressure situations, and if like I said, if Portland scores first, we don't have an answer.
Well, I mean,
look, we'll find out in the first 10 minutes.
I mean,
we'll know in the first 10 minutes.
I agree with you. We'll find out in the first 10 minutes. Yeah, I think we can just keep going back and forth on this. I don't think we're finding any common ground. I think we're definitely on 2 opposite sides of the spectrum in this game. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who do you kind of agree with more? Are you a little bit more optimistic that SDFC can kind of get a positive result in this, or are you kind of on the fence a little bit, where it's like if things really don't go our way, then it's going to be downhill? What do you guys think? So
yeah, we'll see. But I mean, at the end of the day, we'll learn.
Any closing statements?
No, just we got to do the best that we can. Obviously, I think San Diego, the fans, have done everything that they possibly can. I know that they will this Sunday. I know we'll show out, and I know, like, we continue to believe this. I think no matter what, as San Diego fans, we love to support our teams, and we will continue to do that. But I think I don't blame anything on the team. I think it's a lot. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot that's riding on it. I think they've done everything that they can as well too. But I think this game everybody needs to just stay calm. Everybody needs to just believe. Do not get confident in yourselves. And like I said, the moment we as a team decide to stop attacking, stop playing, think that we have the game over Portland, is the moment we lose this game. And I will say this again, we will know in the first 10 minutes. We will see what San Diego comes, what team San Diego FC comes out as.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with any of that, what you just said. But guys, again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you guys check us out. Links in the description below. TikTok, Instagram, Norte.mx, and So Fly for the hats.
And just real quick before, at the end of the day, we had an amazing time at the watch party.
Yes.
And thank you for all the fans that saw us, that met us, that reached out, said hi. Shout out to the other Donnie too, who was getting us drinks after drinks after drinks. We really appreciate it. You did not have to do that, but just thank you to everybody who had a lot of kind words to say to us, and just was very happy. It was just a really surreal experience to be able to talk with you guys and just be there. Shout out to also Harangi and Alvaro, who we both got to just, they follow us too, so it was really nice for them to like give us a shout out to as well too. But definitely. It was really nice. Thank you to everybody.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ragazzi.
Bye.